Hello and welcome to the very picturesque coastline of Estoril in Portugal for the climax of the 2021 FIM Sidecar World Championship. My name's Barry Nutley and we start with a quick look round some of the local history and culture in this resort just outside Lisbon, the capital. That sea is freezing at this time of year, and sadly we weren't blessed with good weather either. Quite the opposite, in fact. You would not want to be in there, I can tell you. The circuit at Estoril has a long pedigree, having hosted everything from MotoGP to Formula 1. Series leader Markus Schlosser and Marcel Fries came here with a 55-point lead, but with double points on the final two races, it was their title to lose. Santander Salt's Todd Ellis and his French lady passenger Emmanuel Clément sat second, and they knew what they had to do, and that brought its own pressure. 5 times champion Pekka Päivärinta also stood a chance of making it 6, but for that to happen, he and Ilse de Haas would need something dramatic. Mathematically, Tim Reeves could turn his 8 titles into 9, but he knew he'd need a miracle. Jorge Viegas, president of the FIM, Roger Body, promoter of this 2021 FIM Sidecar World Championship. First of all, Roger, what does it mean to you to have them here? It's been hard work, but the final round you've got a good series away.
Yeah, we have a great grid for the last round in Estoril. I mean, the weather's not been good to us, but so pleased with all the riders coming all this way. Not all of them with a chance of winning, so and it's been a really good support. Really pleased, yeah.
But George, the FIM has stood by sidecars through some difficult times. Are things now turning a corner?
Now we have the perfect promoter. We have even English weather to go with. So I'm really pleased that these series are finally going very strong. Thank you.
Hopefully we can build on this.
Yeah, of course we will. We have to go because the race is about to start. Thank you.
18 laps ahead of these boys and girls then in very dismal damp conditions for the opening race. Just single points on race 1 in Estoril, but they knew that when they came into the later 2 races it would be double points. 100 on the table, 125 in total. Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau absolutely knew what they had to do, and from the outset they grabbed the lead. Similarly, Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clément sat in second place. Schlosser was high up in the early stages but had to pit because he'd made a dodgy tyre choice, and would you believe the Yokohama he took off the front was ancient. It had to be 12 years old. He'd chosen a wet, but on went the intermediate. He was almost 2 laps in the pits and was later to rejoin and salvage a handful of points with 13th place. Meanwhile, Tim Reeves, Kevin Rousseau out at the front, absolutely charging. Lap after lap they put in fantastic times, but it was to end in tears for them because they were not to finish the race. They were to have a mechanical problem. Ben and Tom Birchall also charging. Schlosser was almost 2 laps down but charging, and as I say, he was to get in the points. Meanwhile, Ben and Tom Birchall and Benny Stroyer and Jerome Remy, having chosen intermediate tyres, were moving fast through. Tim Reeves into the closing stages, trying to conserve his wet rear and doing a great job at the front. Todd Ellis slipping there in second, but Birchall and Stroyer were to move ahead, dropping Todd Ellis back. Tim Reeves was to retire with a mechanical problem, and that was such a shame for him. He'd been definitely the quickest man on track. Birchall's then, and Benny Stroyer up the front pushing hard. Todd Ellis in P3 was pulling back points on the championship leader Schlosser, and that was what he needed to do. Paul Leglise had an incident on the same lap that Tim Reeves retired. The red flag came out and a result was declared. Birchall, Stroyer, Ellis, that was the podium. A great result, 42 seconds back from the race leaders. Päivärinta, Craig Curry and Justin Sharp there. Payne and Wilkes, a good result. Ben and Tom Birchall, I didn't get a chance to talk to you before the race, Ben, but hey, what a display. Fantastic. Tyre choice?
We went on cut slicks, so different for them lot. They're fighting for a championship. We got nothing to lose, and in 19 it did the same thing here, so I thought, well, we'll try it, and me and Craig both put them on, and You know, we've had 2 fantastic results at Craig's first GP and a bit of a comeback for us. But yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, you really got in there and spoiled the party, didn't you? But as it happened, there was drama going on anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a grey subject really. The organisers need to have a think about a race like that because it's so dangerous for the lads on wet tyres, you know. They all had to stick on them, but we could take a gamble. But a proper drive by Ben and first 5-6 laps, that was not an easy thing to do, to stay with the guys, but he got eating the tyres and then we could really start to work with it. So yeah, really happy and great to be back.
I was going to say, is it good to be back?
Yeah, I didn't think that yesterday and this morning when it was raining like it was, but yeah, it's great to be back. It's a great series and the FIM do a fantastic job, you know, and all credit to them for keeping the job going, and let's see what we can do next year. Maybe we'll come back and have a few more rides here.
That'll be good. Good to see you both and well done.
Cheers, thanks.
Todd Ellis, I think you made the best out of a bad job there, Todd. I mean, tyre choice obviously played a part.
Yeah, it played a massive part. I mean, Ben had the right tyre choice, but if you're not in the championship, it's easy to make a risky decision like that. So we had to go with what everyone else was going with and go for the safe option and try and make it work for us. But yeah, we're happy with that. We've got to finish in some more points. So yeah, on to the next race.
You've reduced the advantage that Schlosser had. Did you know, or when did you know he'd come in to change tyres?
We had a bit of a system going on, so I knew that he had something wrong and he'd come in or anything. I didn't know he'd changed tyres and gone back out again, but yeah, it's that close now. You can't really have the time to come in, change tyres and then make any kind of position back up.
Well, I reckon you've pegged back 13, so that'll do, won't it?
Yeah, that'll do. Every point helps, so yeah, see how the rest of the weekend goes.
Well done, Todd. Good drive.
Thank you.
Todd Ellis, Emmanuel, they did make the best of a bad job. It wasn't easy at all, but they're there. That's what they need to do in every race this weekend. 2 more to go. Well, to say the weather deteriorated in the afternoon was a massive understatement. Torrential rain, another 18 laps scheduled. We were wondering, would it go ahead? But go ahead it did. It was incredibly difficult on the warm-up lap. Visibility was poor. The clouds were low, but still, Tim Reeves, Kevin Russo made another fantastic start. Their wet weather skill was nothing short of remarkable. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement slotted into second. They knew what they had to do, and they were splashing around, doing an absolutely great job. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes were in third place. At this point in time, Marcus Schlosser and Marcel Fries were running in a strong enough position to take the title. It could be game over at the end of race 2. And remember, there were double points on this race, so the winner, if Tim Reeves won this, he would collect 50. And he streaked out in the lead and stretched his advantage. He came here to Estoril with a massive disadvantage and only a slender chance of taking the title. But boy, Tim Reeves was going to do everything he could to show his stamp and show his quality. And in the wet, he was masterful here. Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement in second. Harry Payne, Mark Wilkes still there in third, and a massive gap back. But it was fourth place for the Gustoil Yamaha of Schlosser. Pavarinta was in there as well, ahead of the Birchells and Lucas Wiesem, but Kershaw and Charlwood on the Quattro Yamaha were closing. Steve Kershaw was to really have a strong ride here in these vile conditions. Harry Payne forcing the battle still, with Schlosser knowing what he had to do. He just had to keep his cool. If he brought it home in this position, he would be champion, and invincibly so. Meanwhile, Tim Reeves, Kevin Russo still at the front, just going faster and faster and faster and stretching an enormous gap. Todd Ellis coming under pressure at the front, but still Pavarinta was in there. Harry Payne moving past as fast as he could. Pavarinta having a good look. Kershaw really strong. Tim Reeves over the line yet again with that fantastic advantage. But it transpired that he'd actually cooked his clutch and was nursing it a little bit. You could hear it up the straight. I thought it was wheel spin, but it's actually clutch slip. Such a shame for Tim Reeves and Kevin Russo. They had a great race here in Estoril, but it was not to be. The rain came down heavier and heavier. Reeves and Russo were to retire. The clutch cried enough. That elevated everyone up a place. And meanwhile, the battle at the front between Harry Payne and Steve Kershaw raged to the flag. Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes, the Manxman, actually getting the verdict on a sodden track. Schlosser bringing it home in a very strong position ahead of Pavarinta, on target for the title, with Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement slipping further down the order in these vile conditions. At the front though, Harry Payne looking very strong, eked out an advantage over Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood. They must have had a moment for them to drop back, and it was third place for the Estoril Yamaha and the 2021 champions that were crowned after this race. There it was then, Payne Wilkes from Kershaw, Schlosser, Pavarinta, Ellis fifth, second place in the championship for him pretty much wrapped up, Wiesen, Stroyer, Biggs, Birchall, Vinay, Farnier, top 10. Winners, Harry Payne and Mark Wilkes. What a performance and what conditions, you two.
Thank you very much, Barry. Yeah, it was incredible, really. It was quite a dangerous race, in my opinion. I was a bit surprised it wasn't stopped, but it was lucky for us that it wasn't, because we managed to get to the end first.
Mark, we've said many times the importance of having an experienced and a good passenger. None better than you, mate. And how do you find it?
Oh, thank you very much. No, I mean, he rode phenomenally yesterday. In them conditions, towards the end of the race, it was a case of just surviving, getting round. It was, I think we needed a boat on a couple of corners. So it was a good race. Really enjoyed it.
We don't yet know the points impact, but you will have leapfrogged quite considerably. This is your third World Championship round, right?
That's correct, yeah. We've actually moved up to 7th, and we're within a shout of taking 6th if we do well again today. So yeah, that could be quite interesting, eh?
Given the choice then, wet race or dry race?
Oh, wet race, Barry, wet race.
Steve Kershaw and Ryan Charlwood have been going steadily all through this World Championship season, making steady progress, picking people off, and you did yourself a power of good in that wet race with runner-up spot yesterday.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, we just, we've had a tough qualifying, tough weekend, and had to start 12th, and we just slowly plodded away and picked our way through. And then with the double points, we're now, in with a shout for today for third in the championship. So yeah, it was a really good day yesterday.
Has this year lived up to expectations for you, Ryan? I mean, it's your virgin season, if I can put it that way, for both of you, but you've come out really well at the end of it.
Yeah, I think our target between us was try and get near third, and we're in the last race between us and Pekka for third. So we're sticking to our target, and yeah, we can't be happier than that, really.
Markus Schlosser, Marcel Fries celebrating championship, the first Swiss title victory for 27 years since the great Rolf Bieland. What a result for Switzerland, what a result for Schlosser. My remarks to Mark Wilkes about being top-line passenger, hats off to all those passengers. You look at the likes of Ben and Tom Birchall. Tom Birchall, 4 World Championships, 10 TTs as a passenger. Mark Wilkes, TT victory, World Championship victory. Just amazing. Emmanuel Clement jumped in the first time this year. What a star she is. It just goes on and on. We are blessed with a wealth of top-class passengers without whom this sport could not go on, I can tell you. It is so tough. The Swiss here, very supportive of their man, the newly crowned 2021 champion, Markus Schlosser, Marcel Fries, racing for fun now in this, the third and final race, albeit double points. Are they going to do it in style? Ben and Tom Birchall going really quickly in this one, just doing a fantastic job, but Tim Reeves and Kevin Rousseau were not making any mistakes this time. They were on a mission. They had a point to prove. He'd been masterful all weekend. 2 DNFs due to mechanical breakdowns and issues, but Tim Reeves, well, it's not going to be his title this year. It's gone, we know that, but he'll be back for more, I'm sure. He has to try and emulate and match Steve Webster with 10 world titles. He's on 8, he's not that far behind, but what a great result for Schlosser. Again, another fantastic finish. All credit goes to Todd Ellis and Emmanuel Clement, second in the world in their debut season. They can only march on. Tim Reeves then victory in the final race ahead of the Birchalls. That rivalry reignited. Schlosser, Ellis, Pavarinta, Kershaw. Pavarinta sealed third in the title. A brilliant result. Biggs and Smits running out the top 10. George Viegas, the FIM president we spoke to on the grid, handing out the gold, the silver and the bronze medals. But top of the pile, first time for Switzerland for 27 years, Markus Schlosser, Marcel Fries. Fantastic result. Ellison Richardson, every one of those crews below Schlosser felt he'd earned it. So brilliant to see Pekka Pavarinta and Ilse de Haas here, third in the World Championship. Your first season together, correct? Just an amazing thing. How do you feel about it? Third place.
I'm very, very happy. I'm very difficult this season, and I'm very happy to see Ilse coming Le Mans first race. And I don't know. This last year, this COVID and many problems, and I'm crazy happy.
I can see you're very emotional. You're an emotional man. So am I, as it happens. It's just so good for this new pairing, Ilse. And how is this man to race with?
Yeah, really good. It's just he needs what he needs. Yeah, he does what he needs to do, and yeah, that's it. Really happy.
When you step in with a world champion, do you think, oh, or are you really confident the whole time?
Yeah, I'm really confident actually. I think it just gives me the confidence as well, and it just works out really good.
This sport is expensive. You said the travelling is difficult. This year, particularly hard for you. Next year, if you can get everything in place, will you be back?
Of course, I go back, and Ilse and me coming back, and of course needed money, helping, good sponsoring, and but I think now this better start next season, and everybody see, and I'm a little bit old man, but I'm fast passenger. And
if you're an old man, I'm dead. Congratulations, brilliant, and to you, Ilse, well done.
Thanks.
Todd Ellis, Emmanuel Clement. A day, I guess, of mixed feelings. You could have been champions, but it was always going to be difficult going into this last round.
Yeah, I mean, Marcus built up quite an advantage coming into this last round, but yeah, I was a little bit annoyed with myself yesterday after the outcome of the race with a couple of spins and gifted him it, but we just played it safe, used a sensible tyre option today and just brought it home to secure second.
Emmanuel, I see you working week in, week out, your commitment, your dedication. You must feel some disappointment, but at the same time, happiness.
Yeah, a little bit disappointed about this weekend, but we learned a lot, and it was the first year together, and we are really happy to finish on second position on the world. It's really nice, it's really good.
What did you learn this year that you can carry forward into 2022?
It's a secret.
I have a rough idea. Todd, a relationship between a driver and a passenger is so important, and if you get along together socially, that really is the cream on the cake.
Yeah, definitely. You're only on the bike 10% of the weekend, so you've got to get on around the paddock and as well, and be able to drink and eat together. So yeah, I landed on my feet. We had a couple of misfortunes at the start of the year, and we got Manu in for Le Mans and not looked back really, and it's been a challenging year going to every track new and having to learn from it, but yeah, we should have a good base setting everywhere and be ready to come back a bit stronger next year.
Yeah, on that note, as far as you know, same team, same setup, just a whole new season?
Yeah, just a whole new setup. Might try a lot of development over winter, try and bring something new to the table, but yeah, same team, same passenger, so yeah.
Congratulations to you both on many fronts, so have a good winter.
Good job, thank you.
And now a pair that I've been watching all year with admiration, I have to say, because you are a class act, both of you. Markus Schlosser, Marcel Fries, 2021 FIM Sidecar World Champions. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, it's a absolute difficult, crazy season. We have a wonderful time every races. We have 8 wins and two place 3 and 1 place 2. What will you more? Absolute perfect and fantastic.
Six times IDM champion, correct? Six times?
Yeah.
Never world champion before, but close, I believe, 2014, 2016 maybe?
No, we say on the first position on the last race, and DNF in the last round, and yeah, this is finished. Second place, not first one. What will you? That's racing.
But you come back, and you came back stronger.
Yeah.
So that is really good. Next year, will you be back to defend the title?
Yeah, I will. Aber I must look with the sponsor and also with the Marcel, what he will. We will talk after this party. Strong.
You two guys seem to be happy together, you laugh together, you joke. That is a very important part to have fun, yeah?
Yeah. It's with Marcus, it's a great race. No.
Excellent. So you'll be back next year?
We talk.
Can I be in on that conversation? Listen, I have huge respect for you both. Well done. Brilliant season. Many congratulations.
Many. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Well, the sun goes down here in Estoril. What a great weekend it was. Hope you enjoyed the 2021 season from me, Barry Nutley. Winter well. We'll see you next year. Bye for now.